Hey everybody, this is Josh from Cardfight Vanguard NZ. Today I'm bringing you a video review of my latest deck. It is the Shadow Paladins, the Revengers, which is the new subclan for them. So I'll get right into it. So starting up, I begin my starting Vanguard as Creeping Dark Goat, which is the only non-Revenger in the deck. The reason I use this instead of Claudus, which is the normal one, is that this is just much more useful. I do still have Claudus in the deck, which you'll see in a second, but this is much more useful. It's just a counterblast one, put it in the soul, search top 5 for a grade 3, so when you're running Break Ride plus a card that has a Persona Blast, what more could you really want? So definitely, if you can get your hands on this and you're building Revengers, try and get this. This is just much better. Right, so run one Claudus. The reason I use her is I use the grade 1 to call her out. She's just handy instead of, because the grade 1 can only call a grade 0 out, that I'll show you in a second, and you don't really want to pull the trigger out, so this is really good. I usually, most of the time, don't actually use her for a skill. I usually just use her as a sacrifice unless I really am lacking grade 2s, which almost never happens, but you know, it's there if you need it, but otherwise it's just a good tribute for the grade 3, so I'll show you that soon. For triggers, it's pretty standard stuff. I've just got four heal triggers. None of these triggers have any effects other than the trigger effects, so nothing amazing. 4 draw triggers. And then I've got 8 crit, so I've just got 4 of the one from the trial deck and 4 of the one from BT12. Nothing too different out there, that's pretty standard for this sort of thing. Alright, grade 1s. So, for grade 1s, I run obviously 4 perfect guards. You'll notice that I'm still using 2 of the original Shadow Paladin ones. I'm still in the process of replacing them. The deck cost me quite a lot of money, so yeah, I've had to sacrifice that for now, but I'll replace it soon. We do tournaments, so we'll sort that out. So I've got 4 of them. I've then got 4 Barrier Troop Revenger. This card's really handy. Basically it goes with Blast Dark Revenger. All it does is that when Blast Dark Revenger is called to the same column, you can flip a damage back up. So pretty much whenever you're calling out grade 1s, you just fill the 2 back rear guard rows on the sides with this. So you know, if you ever get Blast Dark, it's just a free unflip. Yeah, this is a really good card. You really want to use these. We've got 3 of the the 7k grade 1 that gets 3k when it attacks. It can be handy if you feel like rushing your opponent, but generally it's just, you know, it's a good solid card. I usually just use them for sacrifices, but they are handy if you happen to be struggling to get grade 2s or anything like that, so they they give you a few options, which is good. And then I've got Revenger Darkbond Trumpeter, which is when it's called Counterblast 1, you search your deck for a grade 0 and call it to rest. So that's where I'd use to call out Claudus, which is the starter that a lot of people use. Yeah, she's real good, because all you need really is, when I show you the grade 2, you only really need 3 counterblasts, and you can fill, you know, you can meet the requirements for Raging Form Dragons. So yeah, good. You probably only really need 2. Yeah, that's what I run anyway. Alright, moving on to the grade 2s. I run 3 of Dark Cloak Revenger Tatu, which when you play a Counterblast 2, you search your deck for a grade 1 and call it to the same column. This card's amazing. It's basically it's just a stronger version of the one that used to be in Shadow Paladins. It's 9k instead of 8. It has to be a Revenger, but that's obviously not a problem. Making it 9k makes so much difference in this deck. Yeah, it's really good. This card can really save you. I mean, if you're struggling to build a field and you've got heaps of counterblasts open, if you get this card, you can pay Raging Form's cost with just a couple of counterblasts. Yeah, that's really good. Then from the trial deck, I've just got 4 of the 9k, 12k attackers. Nothing particularly special about this. I'm pretty sure just about every clan has these now. Yeah, just 4. They're good if you want to apply a lot of pressure, especially with the break ride. Next I run 4 Blasted Dark Revenger. He ties in really well with the grade 1 that I showed you earlier on. It just lets you unflip damage if he's called to the same column as it. His effect is Counterblast 2 and you retire your opponent's front row. One of their front row rear guards. Sometimes it's handy, like if they've got really important cards in the front row that they're just guard for, you can just get rid of them, save yourself some trouble. But it's generally the effect is more handy with the grade 1. And actually, it kind of works out that you can retire front row for 1 counterblast, which is really, really good. So, yeah, that's why I run that. Alright. Next, I run 4 of the Break Ride, which is Illusionary Revenger Mortar's Phantom. Yeah, he's pretty much the star of the deck. I'm usually feeling pretty confident if I manage to ride him before I ride anything else. I mean, all it is counterblast 1, give your Vanguard 10k, and you can search your deck for a grade 2 or less Shadow Paladin, call it to rear guard and give it 5k. So, this card lets you set up just about anything you want. If you need power, you can call out the 12k attacker, or if you're missing grade 1s, call that out. It lets you do anything you need basically, which is really good, because I mean you can call out the grade 2 that lets you call other cards, and you can just build yourself a field with counterblasts. So yeah, it's really awesome. This card is probably one of my favourite break rides, not only because I really like Shadow Paladins, but I just think it just helps you plus yourself so much, and minimises the amount of cards you need to play from your hand, which is key. I don't know how you can read it, but there's the English text there. Yeah, so this is pretty much the star of the deck. It helps you no matter what. And then finally, 4 copies of Revenger Raging Form Dragon. A nice close up of him. English text. Yeah. So this card is very, very nasty. It's also very expensive, so if you're thinking of building Shadow Paladins, be prepared for quite a costly deck if you're going to go for this card. Basically what you do is, once it's attacked, if you're at 4 damage, you can sacrifice 3 of your rear guards, and you can play another copy of him from your hand on top of the rested one. So basically you ride him from your hand again, and he can attack again. So it means that you can dodge perfect guards, you can do all that sort of thing. It helps you increase your hand a lot, because with the Revengers you build your field with counterblast instead of cards from your hand, and then you basically get to twin drive 4 times. I mean, if you combo that with the break ride, your hand is just huge, and you minus your opponent's hand heftily because you're attacking them for so much. It also gets 10k when you use its skill, so it's attacking for 21 when it comes back out. So it's not just it's not like Spectral Duke Dragon or anything like that. So it's really good. It applies a lot of pressure. Yeah, it ties in very nicely with the rest of the deck, because I mean, retiring 3 rear guards is nothing to this deck when you can plus yourself so much. So yeah, that's the big exciting part of the deck. So yeah, the only thing I would change with this deck is I might run another copy of Tatu instead of the 12k attacker, just because she can be a real lifesaver with building your field. I mean, it's not that important, but having 4 copies of a really important card is usually a good plan. Just obviously increases your chances of seeing it. So that's really the only other thing I would change, other than I might consider running another one of the grade zeros, just because, you know, with only being one, it can go to the damage zone and things like that, and you never get to use it. And then you have to sort of call out a trigger, which sucks. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've got the other cards in the folder, so if I ever need to use them, I can swap them around. But anyway, I'd like to hear what you guys think. On my deck profile, it's not moving away from the standard sort of build that much, but it works pretty well. I don't really have too many problems with it, other than the usual grade stuff and things like that, but that can happen to any deck. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got any better ways of building it, or cards that I should tweak. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.